So first beginning with 3 Oms, find a comfortable seat. We'll Om together 3 times.
Sachidanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Tvameva Matacha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
I'll call in response. Please join in. Jai Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jai Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jagat Guru Param Guru Sat Guru Sham.
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 Adi Guru Advaita Guru Ananda Guru Ho.
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 Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Ho.
Chit Guru Chit Maya Guru Shankana Guru Ho.
Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Ho.
Chit Guru Chit Gana Guru Chinmaya Guru Ho.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Jaya Guru Shiva Guru Hare Guru Ram.
Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya.
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 Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Sachidananda Guru Sachidananda 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 Shri Guru Jaya 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 Guru Sachidananda Jaya Guru Jagat 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 Guru Sachidananda Jagat Guru Param 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 Guru Sachidananda Param Guru Om 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 Guru Sachidananda Sachidananda 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 Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya Namah Om, Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya. Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya Namah Om, Shivaya Namah Om, Om Shiva Shivaya Namah Hara 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 Om Namah Shivaya Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Hara 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 Om Namah Shivaya Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Hara 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 Om Namah Shivaya Shiva 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 Shivaya Namah Hara 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 Om Namah Shivaya 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 Om Namo Narayanaya 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 Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam.
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam,
Amba Parameshwari Akhilandeshwari Adipara Shakti Palayamam.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Lalitamba.
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba,
Om Mata, Om Mata, Om Shri Mata Jagadamba.
Lalitamba,
Lalitamba.
Jagadamba,
Jagadamba.
Hari Om,
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari 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 Hari Om.
Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Hari Om.
Hari Hari Om.
Hari Hari Om.
Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Om.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Om 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 Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Shanti Om. Om Shanti.
Hariyo. Thank you all so very much for such a beautiful kirtan. Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Satchidananda Ashram, Yogaville. It is a pleasure to welcome you all, those of you who are present here in our physical environment, and those of you who are coming in over the airwaves. We no longer live stream you, my understanding is we now Vimo stream you, but however you get to us, we're just delighted to have everyone's presence with us this evening because we have a beautiful program in store for you. I am called Swami Priyananda, and I will be serving as your MC. Sri Gurudev reminded those of us who served in this capacity, the MC is the master's charge. So he's in charge of everything that unfolds for us tonight. But we will now invite the people who have agreed to light the lamps on our altars to come forward. We light the lamps to honor the presence of our beloved Sri Gurudev, his spiritual presence, along with just a moment, I'll have you stand, but along with all of the saints and sages of the various faith traditions. So now, if you would like to stand, we will all say these affirmations of world peace together. They're found on the yellow sheet that you may have picked up at the door. And please, as we focus on these beautiful qualities in our hearts and minds, to keep in mind all the places in this world in need of peace and harmony. Auspiciousness be unto all. Perfect peace be unto all. Fullness be unto all. Prosperity be unto all. Happiness be unto all. Perfect health be unto all. May all see good in everyone. May all be free from suffering. Om peace, peace, peace unto all. Om Shanti. You may be seated. Well, we have welcomed those of you who are in our Shivananda Satsang Hall tonight, and you are indeed our honored guest. It's always nice to have people come and share in the many programs that are offered here at Satchidananda Ashram. And we have a beautiful celebration coming up in just a few days. And that will be in honor of our beloved Swami Gurucharanananda Mataji. Mataji will be celebrating one of her many birthdays. We will not tell you which one, but she will be soon celebrating 50 years as a sannyasin. We'll be having a program to honor that step that she and many other sannyasins took back in 1975. But tonight, we are honoring when she manifested into her physical form. And her birthday is coming up May the 1st. It will be, April the 1st. April Fool's Day. And so we will all be gathering here to spend time with her and to celebrate her presence in our community. But we would also like to, I know that some of you who are here with us this evening may not be able to be with us on Tuesday, on the actual birthday. So we told Mataji, you must make us a little message for all the people who will be attending our satsangs and may not be able to return, and also for people around the world who have come and study at Satchidananda Ashram or where Mataji has traveled to share the teachings of Sri Gurudev throughout the world. So we had a little message made by her from one of our videographers, Jeff Ananda Kamen, and he's interviewing Mataji in the joyous springtime. So please enjoy this little clip as she welcomes you all.
Hello, everyone. Jai Gurudev. The flowers are just to let you know how happy I am to be able to greet you and spend a little bit of time sharing with you, even though I don't see you. You're all over the world. We're all over the world. So just to let you know how much I think of all of you and wish all of you peace, joy, happiness, and it all comes from, you know what, the secret. Love everybody. Everybody. Really, let's love each other and let's serve each other. After, well, it's not 96 yet, but it's going to be 96 April 1st. And I've realized that, honestly, that's all that matters. That we love each other, serve each other, forgive each other, and be the best we can for everybody every day. That's sort of, I would say, what I've learned in 96 years, 54, 55 some years here.
And before that, Sister Agnes.
Well, just that makes 70 some years to God and to Guru. The same. And with all of you as examples and as encouragement and as sisters and brothers, because that's how I feel, that we're all connected to each other in that way. Like the flowers. See how pretty they are? And they're from the monastery front yard. And in front of us, we have them again. It's what brings us together, and when we see it, it fills us with the feeling that we are one, nature as well as people. And I think if we remember, there's no need to talk anymore about because the teachings are that. And I just want you to know how much I love each of you and wish I could be having the chance to see you wherever you are. So my heart's greeting to each of you, my birthday greeting to each of you. Just know, although I'm not talking with you, writing to you, because I'm not doing that much anymore, just know I'm with each of you, as I know you are with each of us. Because we are a whole lot, each one of us.
Thank you, Mataji.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe, each of us, be filled with peace and joy, love and light. At his lotus feet, your Mataji, Swami Guru Charanananda.
Well, we don't have any cake to share with you tonight, but you do get to meet the guest of honor, everyone, so that they know that you are here. That's the real deal. Mataji delivered that message in front of the monastery. So if any of you feel inspired by her few words to renounce the world, there's plenty of room for you. Okay? Thank you all. Well, we can now spend a little time with the source of her inspiration. Our beloved Sri Gurudev had offered a talk back in 1984 on wellness, the yogic approach. And since our speaker will be really leading us down that path soon, we'll watch the video now and then meet our evening speaker. Please enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Jai Gurudev. The
Well, welcome to Yogaville. I know you are all from the Wellness Center. There is a saying in South India. It says, doesn't matter who pounds the rice. As long as I get the rice, it's fine. It's a village, a country proverb. That means you don't have to worry about who is the pounder. Whether it's a male, female, black, white, brown, young, old, short, tall. It doesn't matter. All I am interested in is having a little rice, pounded well. I think that is the motto for the Wellness Center also. It doesn't matter what approach you take, what pati you use. or what path you use. As long as the person gets well, that's well. Last year we had a wonderful gathering in Bangalore. I think Mala also was there. About 30, 40 different pathis came together. And when they asked me to say a few words, I said that it's good to have all the pathis, but more than any pati, you know what I mean by pati, allopathy, homeopathy, naturopathy, namopathy, yogopathy. Apart from all the pathis, the one important pati the practitioner should have, and that's what you call sympathy. If the doctor has real sympathy over the patient, that itself goes a long way in bringing health and happiness to the patient. There was another saying called Marandu Padi, Maruttuvan Padi. Half by medicine, half by the doctor. It's not just the medicine alone. It is your attitude, your approach, your sympathy, your concern, your compassion, your love to the patient. That's where, in a way, yoga and meditation comes in. Because the essential point behind yoga is to see your own self in other beings. Not only in other persons, in other beings. You are treating yourself. As the great scriptures say, do unto others what you would want to be done to yourself. And you cannot do it unless you see your own self in the patient. That brings a beautiful rapport, a good communication. And then all the rest happens naturally. That is the essence behind yoga. See the oneness of all in spirit. To yuj, to unite, to yoke is yoga. And of course, there are many levels or many helpful practices to achieve this, such as keeping a clean mind, clean body through yoga practices, asana practices, which is called Hatha Yoga, pranayama, breathing techniques, and then a little discipline over the senses, and through the senses the mind. And it was more or less the final climax of the practice is what you call meditation. Yoga is arranged in 8 steps. Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana. There are 6. Then comes dhyana, the meditation. So meditation becomes more easy if a person follows the rest of the preparations also. So we should not just meditation means simply think of something. You have to prepare your mind, prepare your body to think of it. And of course, the modern medical field is very well aware of the importance of thought. As you think, so you become. So the practitioner's first and foremost duty, in a way, if I could say it's a duty, is to give that hope to the patient, no matter how worse the condition is. There seems to be a modern thinking that, oh, you have to tell them clearly what the problem is and scare them as much as possible. No. Even if it is really a scary situation, even if it's going to die next minute, give them hope. Oh, anything can happen. Miracles can happen. The whole thing will get changed. Don't worry. Don't give up hope. Hope is the best medicine. Hope is the best medicine. If a person gives up that hope, even if you bring nectar, it won't work. It becomes a hopeless case then. So never to let the patient lose the hope. Let him be confident in that. Because there were stories when all the doctors give up the case and say, even pronounce that he is dead clinically. I don't know what you mean by clinically dying and real dying. And the body is taken into that special room, ready to be packed up. And then after half an hour or 1 hour, when the relatives come, when they go in to see the body wakes up and walks out. We have seen cases like that. Totally given up, they revive. So, at what point you give up hope? Even if you leave the body, don't give up hope. Why? Because you have a better body waiting for you. So the hope is the best pati, best medicine. And that is the keynote in yoga too, in meditation. Think well. Think positively. Meditation means that you think deeply. Whatever you think, you will become. Reminds me of one of the greatest work, ethical work in South India, written by a saintly person, Thiruvalluvar. He positively proclaims that Enniyar Enniyangu Eiduvar, Enniyar Thinniyaraga Perin. A person can exactly get whatever he wants if only he thinks deeply. Enniyar Thinniyaraga, totally, convincingly. Because the mind has that kind of tremendous power. If a person can have that kind of positive mind, there's nothing he cannot achieve in this world. Not only health, happiness, wealth, everything, social comfort, all we can get, whatever we want, if we have that positive thinking. Meditation is based on that. But as I said before, even to coordinate, collect the mind, and to think deeply with the total energy of the mind, we had to plan, prepare the mind, because it's very hard to put all the mind together. The mind likes to run here and there. All the great sages and saints have unanimously agreed in this, that the mind is the worst monkey. And that too, not just a plain monkey, a drunkard monkey. And not only just a drunkard monkey, drunkard but bitten by a scorpion. Imagine, I'm just quoting what they have said. So you see how much of an energy you have to, how much of a planning, preparation to put the mind together. Coax it slowly, slowly, slowly. That is the reason why all these steps. Just take care of your daily life a little. Don't be too greedy. Don't be too average. Running around here and there, wanting to get this and that, and doing nothing. Calm down a little. Calm down. Use a little devotional approach. Well, God is there, my father and mother. Certainly He knows what I need. Father knows the best, is it not? He knows what I need, what I deserve. And certainly even without my asking, He is going to give me. Use God for this purpose. But don't worry whether there is a God or not, you can use it comfortably for this, just to bring comfort here. Because there is always a question, is there a God? Where is that? Is He a he or a she? All that problem. It doesn't matter. Whether there is a God or not, simply create a God, use it. Don't we do that in our maths and algebra, for example? You just bring an unwanted x there. Suppose the answer is x. You don't even know what an x is, but you just bring it there and then work with that unknown, undesirable, unwanted x. And then when you get the answer, x is so much, x is equal to 8 or 10, then you got the answer. What do you do with the x? Ax it. Because there's an extra. So keep up the x until you get the answer. When you got the answer, blow it out. Maybe God is also like that. If you don't feel comfortable with the God, use God as an X for a while. If you can get something, then say, okay, bye-bye God, I got whatever I want. I don't need you anymore. I'll call you when I need you. See, it's all based on this, to make use of something, some hold, some excuse to make the mind a little more calm, a little more balanced. That is another term very often used in yoga. Balance, equanimity, tranquility. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. Always keep the mind balanced. Use any excuse to find the balance. Use your own capacity, intelligence, or use somebody's words, or use God's name. It doesn't matter how you, as I said earlier, who pounds, doesn't matter, get the rice. So, mind should be calmed. That is another important thing to note in the name of yoga. It is to calm the mind. That is the goal of yoga. And that's the goal of meditation also. Not really go and achieve something here and there. Once you calm the mind, then you achieve everything. Without calming the mind, if you want to achieve something, you cannot. Is there not a beautiful saying in the Bible? Seek that kingdom first and foremost. Then what happens when you get that? All the rest will be simply thrown into, added unto. Whether you want it or not, he'll just, come on, you got the most important thing, all the rest is nothing, just take it, go. Wealth, health, friends, money, name, fame, this is all secondary things, just byproducts, take it, go. Because you got the first and foremost thing, the kingdom of God. And what is that kingdom of God? Where is it? Is God sitting in a throne somewhere, on a throne, somewhere up in the heaven? We always, our Father in the heaven. And the same scriptures say kingdom is within you. So in you is the kingdom. As what? Yoga explains. As a peaceful mind. Let the mind be peaceful, it becomes a beautiful throne for that divine light, divine energy to express itself. So yoga and meditation, they are not two different things, one and the same. Is practiced with this goal in mind, to calm the mind. And then why it begins with yama niyama, cleaning the mind? Because you can never calm the mind without cleaning it first. It's almost like you can never drive a car without tuning it up well. Clean the mind. That means anything that would disturb the mind, keep it out. Cleaning mind is, that's what. Anything, any thought, any action that would disturb your mind, stay away from it. Then the mind gets into its natural, pure, calm state. So it's not, the question here is how to calm the mind. Instead, how to stay away from disturbing the mind. If left alone, it is peaceful. It's almost like a bowl of water. You don't have to make the water do something to calm the water. Don't shake it. Don't put your hand into it. Don't throw something into it. Leave it. It finds its own natural tranquility. Mind is exactly like that. That's why the yama niyama, which is very similar to the commandments in Judaism or Christianity, they say do not do this, do not do that, do not. Why? If you do that, your mind will be disturbed. Your life will get disturbed, and you will be disturbing others also. So, if you stay away from doing all these things that would disturb your mind finds its balance.
You can bear with us for just a moment. We're about to do a set change. always best to prepare center stage when you are about to receive a star. Gurudev gave us many, many beautiful messages tonight in the video, but I think the one that really resonated with me is that hope is the best medicine. And we are so fortunate tonight to have a new form, another pathy, as Guru was talking about, allopathic, homeopathic, naturopathic. We now have malopathic. Reverend Dr. Mala Cunningham has been practicing and sharing these integral yoga teachings of Sri Swami Satchidananda for over 35 years. She is certified as a medical yoga therapist, a neuro yoga therapist, and a teacher trainer. Dr. Mala also holds a PhD in counseling psychology and has a private psychotherapy practice in Charlottesville, Virginia, where she specializes in working with adults, couples, and families. She is an assistant professor at the University of Virginia School of Nursing, where she teaches courses in medical yoga, neuroscience, and psychology. She is the president of Positive Health Solutions. She is the founder and director of Cardiac Medical Yoga Teacher Training Program, of Neuroscience and Yoga Teacher Training Program, and of Mental Health Psychology and Yoga Peer Counseling Teacher Training Program. And fortunately for us, Mala will be offering a neuroscience and yoga workshop here in Yogaville in May. Mala travels the world and shares her knowledge and expertise in hospitals and in academic settings. Reverend Mala is in the process of writing a book, and it is rumored that is due out this year. So please welcome the distinguished Reverend Mala Cunningham.
Thank you, Priyananda. That was such a kind introduction. So, hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. In the past year, I've been writing this book on neuroscience and yoga, intersected, of course, with psychology. And I am unpacking and finding gems all over the place, which are so very, very exciting in terms of why and how the yoga practices work. So I hope to share some of those gems with you tonight and give you some practices and do a little bit of interactive type things also. So I was struck by Gurudev's one of the things he mentioned. I've heard this many times before, but I thought, oh my gosh, this is such a perfect lead-in to part of what I'm going to talk about tonight, when he said that the mind is like a drunken monkey who has also been stung by a scorpion. That is so true. However, what's so fascinating and exciting is that when we merge neuroscience with psychology, with the ancient teachings of yoga, something very magical happens, because we start to understand how we can access the neural platforms to be able to start to regulate our system better, to be able to do self-care, and to be able to calm and focus that drunken monkey stung by a scorpion. So, and those are just some of the glimpses that I hope to give you tonight and have you experience what exactly I'm talking about. Because the way it works is you know, we've been taught to do these yoga practices, but a lot of times we don't fully understand why and how they work. We know they work. We know the certain biomarkers, such as it lowers blood pressure and pulse and heart rate and things like that. We know those things. But until neuroscience caught up with some of these types of practices, with the advent of new technology like the fMRI and the QEEG and so on, that enabled us to see into the brain, we didn't fully understand how and why yoga worked. But we do now, and we're discovering more and more every year with just amazing research that's been going on. So it's a very, very exciting time right now to merge these three disciplines. Pretty much everything is interdisciplinary now across the board of science and psychology and other disciplines. So in any case, I wanted to share with you a client of mine that came in a couple years ago. This particular client was very traumatized. He was very anxious, and he was very depressed, and he was traumatized. Within a very short period of time, I'd say maybe within 6 months, he had major, major stressors just slam into him. His only sibling died in a tragic accident. His mother was diagnosed with terminal cancer. His favorite dog died. His rental house, his renter, unfortunately not on purpose, but burned the rental house down. And his wife needed to have surgery. And there were a couple of other things going on, but you can imagine how traumatized he was. When he came into my office, he was numb. He was unable to focus well, and he started drinking to self-medicate and to just take that stress edge off. But nothing was really working for him. So there were 2 tracks that I offered for him. One was talk therapy, so he could work through some of his grief and be able to process some of his grief. But the second track that I offered to him was neuro-yoga psychotherapy. And I have been doing this for quite a number of years now, but this was one of the biggest impacts that I've seen using these techniques. Within 6 short weeks of doing neuro-yoga psychotherapy, his anxiety reduced, he felt more embodied, he felt like he had more agency, more of a sense of empowerment, his anxiety reduced, and he was able to kind of move out of that numb place that he was in. I'm going to share with you a couple of the techniques that I did with him so you'll understand how he was able to turn himself around, again, within 6 short weeks, doing neuro-yoga, and how it impacted on our system. So really, basically, if we look historically, when yoga came to the West in the 60s, we'll say the 60s, 70s, yoga at that point was a fad. And anybody that got involved in yoga at that time, the objective was enlightenment. That was what we were taught, that's what we did, that was our goal. And we sort of bypassed the rest of the stuff, which is about how to use yoga for self-regulation, how to use yoga for self-care, and how to use yoga and impact on our neural platforms so we can regulate anxiety and stress and work with depression. So yoga moved from a fad into the 80s and 90s, where it became more the medical arena and psychology and other disciplines became very interested in yoga and realized the impact that yoga could have on disease processes, on psychological health and mental health, and so on. Dean Ornish is, I think, probably one of the more famous individuals. He's actually from our organization. He used yoga as an intervention for heart patients. And across the board, pretty much all of his research, 40 decades of research that he did, that he got a reversal of heart disease, atherosclerotic plaque in the coronary arteries reversed using a yoga-based model, you see? So the medical field just kind of woke up and went, wow, I guess we need to get on board a bit. We're in the third wave right now of what yoga has to offer, and that is through neuroscience and understanding our neurobiology and understanding how the yoga practices impact on our neurobiology. So, just one second here. So I think what I'd like to do is have, I know Dharma and Carol are going to come up. Can I have one more person to come up here? I just want to do you don't have to do anything. All you're going to do is hold the scarf. Guruji, do you mind joining? And Carol and Dharma? So I'm going to have each of you hold one end and then someone in the middle. Okay? Come on. So you come behind. There you go. Okay. All right, and pull it between the three of you. Okay. All right, so what this represents is Carol here on the left. She's going to represent, if you're familiar with the gunas, she's going to represent the tamasic guna, okay? So this end of the continuum, sorry, Carol. So this end of the continuum is our consciousness, our energy that goes from parasympathetic nervous system all the way at the other end where Guruji is. Can you begin a straight line here? There we go. So at the other end is Guruji. She represents Rajasic energy, sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system. Dharma, he got the honor of being sattvic energy. Now, what's important here is in yoga, for some reason, early on, we always made the sympathetic nervous system the bad guy. It's not the bad guy. So I want to sort of reframe that for you a little bit. So Dharma represents, so that's Rajasic energy, Sattvic energy, Tamasic energy. Now, the way we use this with our neural platforms is, again, sympathetic energy over there, sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is arousal, okay? We need to be awake, we need to be alert, so we need sympathetic activation to a certain extent. So think about that over there to Dharma's right. Think about it on a scale of 1 to 10. So we can be alert and aroused, maybe at a level 2 or 3. Maybe we're excited about something. Maybe we're going to go to a level 4. But if we go further down that continuum, we're into potentially anxiety, rage, panic, those type of activations that arouse the sympathetic nervous system. And if it stays there and it's chronic, it becomes overactivation, it becomes a neurotoxin, okay? It's not helpful for our system. The parasympathetic nervous system, all the yogis wanted to like, oh yes, yay, 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 the parasympathetic nervous system. Yes and no. So, same thing to Dharma's right, down this continuum on a scale of 1 to 10. We can be relaxed, so maybe we're sort of dropping down a little bit. But further down that continuum, we may be hitting deep depression, clinical depression, immobilization, those states where we start to feel really numb, which is what happened to my client. He was in both numb state, depression, and he was in overactivation, too much stress in his system. He was in both modes, both neuron modes at the same time. So the goal of yoga is, if we can visit these states, by the way, we're human, we're going to get anxious, we're going to get depressed, but we shouldn't live in those states. That's the difference. We can visit, but not live there. So if when we're in the chronic state, we want to start to implement some real serious self-care and self-regulatory practices that yoga offers us to get us back into balance, into the sattvic range. So two branches of the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, there are two branches. One branch is called the ventral vagal complex. That's the sattvic, that's what yoga calls sattvic energy. The other branch is the dorsal vagal complex, which is that shut down, we're in shock, and we're immobilized. Again, we visit there, but we don't want to live there. And there are many people that live at these extremes. So you see the parallels between yoga and neuroscience. Now, this also correlates with psychology, because in psychology, that extreme end is called aggression. This extreme end is called passivity. And that middle point is called being assertive. So those are the mindsets that we want to achieve or look for in our yoga practice. Thank you, guys. That's all I needed you for. Thank you so much. Okay, so what do we do with that information? When we find ourselves in overactivation, whether we're in rage, anger, stress, panic, anxiety, if we're in that space, what do we do? So I'm going to ask another question. If we're in this space over here, we're depressed, we have low energy, we have lethargy, we can't get motivated. What do we do? So what neuroscience says is if you're at that end of the continuum, you need calming techniques. If you're at this end of the continuum, you need alerting and activating techniques that yoga has to offer. That's a very, very important point, because there are certain practices you don't want to do if you're already anxious and in sympathetic overarousal. There are certain practices you don't want to do if you're already depressed, you see? So it's important to sort of understand that concept. So one of the things that I think is really fascinating, you know the piece of flesh that hangs down in the back of your throat? You know what I'm talking about? It's called the uvula. It's just, you look in the mirror, you can see that little piece of flesh hanging down there, right? So that little piece of flesh is connected to our parasympathetic nervous system. So if we're in anxiety, take a look at your uvula and see if it is tilted to one side or the other side, because if it is, that means that your parasympathetic nervous system is dysregulated. It's not coming online very well, and you want to do some practices to get it back online. That makes sense, everybody? So that's one type of assessment that you can do and just see where your parasympathetic nervous system is at. Now, the parasympathetic nervous system, I'm just going to tell you this just quickly. This is complex stuff, but really my objective in life is to make this stuff simple and relatable. So that's my goal. So if there's something you don't understand, please do ask, because that's important to me. All right, so 80% of your parasympathetic nervous system, which relaxes your system, except if it's too much relaxation, again, that's not so good. So 80% is made up of the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve starts in the brainstem at the back of the neck, and it runs down the sides of the neck and through the entire torso, touching into all major organs. And there's this whole regulatory process already happening between your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic. They work together, they work in tandem, and you want them to work and not have one be overactivated or the other overactivated, okay? So the parasympathetic nervous system we can impact on and influence through the yoga practices, through the breathing practices, through mental practices, through the asanas, and through practices like drishti and tradaka, the gazing concentration type practices. Gurudev, what was it that he said in his talk? Let me think. He said something that I was like, oh, Anyway, the bottom line is that, in my opinion, after doing years and years of research on this, I have come to the conclusion that one of the most powerful practices that you can do as a person who wants to self-regulate or feel peaceful is to do gazing and concentration practices. Because what that does to the system on a neurobiological level, it activates our parasympathetic nervous system. And when we activate our parasympathetic nervous system, so I want to give you this sort of ripple cascading effect that occurs. When we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, its responsibility is to release hormones and neurotransmitters such as acetylcholine, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. All feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters. You cannot feel peace unless that happens inside of you. It's impossible unless that happens inside of you, okay? So we want to do the practices. We want to activate that vagus nerve. We want to stimulate it through the practices. So there's research going on called neuromorality and neurotheology, and those researchers are looking at what are the neural correlates of compassion. What's happening in the brain when we're experiencing compassion? What's activating? What's lighting up? And then how do we replicate it? What's happening in the brain when we are having a religious or spiritual experience? We feel very calm and we just feel this bliss come over us. Neurotheology. What are the neural correlates and how can we replicate that? You see? I'm, again, all about how can we make this relatable and understandable. People talk about samadhi, and everyone just puts it way out into the pasture because they think, I'll never have samadhi, I'll never experience samadhi. You know, there's all these things going on in my life, and I don't have the option, I don't have the wherewithal, whatever. But that's not true, you see? If we know how to activate our own internal pharmacy, we can do anything. And that's exactly what Gurudev said. He said, the mind will provide you with anything and everything you want, and it's so true. So the way I format that is with an inverted pyramid. So the mind up here, the wide part of the pyramid, the mind is, yes, it's like a drunken monkey. Absolutely, it's like a drunken monkey with a scorpion bite. But once we start to implement and understand how to do the yoga practices to activate our internal pharmacy of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and all the feel-good hormones, then we've hit our mark of peace. And then when we replicate that over and over and over again, we get to the tip of the pyramid, and that's where we hit the bliss state of samadhi. We train the brain. What we're doing in yoga is no different than what the Navy SEALs do or anybody in the martial arts. It's no different. We're training the brain. That's what we're doing. That's what this is about. You see? And we all have that opportunity to figure out, how do I train the brain to regulate anxiety, to regulate depression? It's not that hard. You know, we have options. We can do talk therapy. We can take medication if we're experiencing anxiety or depression and things like that. And sometimes those things are needed, of course, and medication is absolutely needed on occasion. However, no matter what the intervention, I believe strongly that we should still give people interventions, techniques, strategies, tools, so that they can activate their internal pharmacy. Does that make sense, everybody? I mean, to me, it's like, yes, you know, and that's why I'm so excited about what the intersection of neuroscience, yoga, and psychology, because we have hit the magic bullet. We have that silver bullet. This is the third wave that is spreading like wildfire across the entire planet. Neuroscience is the hottest, you know, most prevalent researched area right now. And like I said, it's very exciting. I want to share with you a story. Back in the 40s and 50s, the polio virus was an epidemic. And, you know, many thousands and thousands of people died from polio. The polio virus, in case you're not aware, paralyzes our body. And unfortunately, it also paralyzes our respiratory system. So many people had to be put on an iron lung. Now, unfortunately, the early designs of the iron lung, which again provided ventilation, were problematic. And the reason they were problematic is because they failed to replicate the natural sigh reflex and the deep breath reflex. And this led to alveolar collapse in the lungs and lung failure, and many patients died being on the iron lung. So the alveoli in each of our lungs, there are literally thousands and thousands of these tiny grape-like sacs that do the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now, if we don't take a deep breath and we don't do the sigh reflex, those alveoli collapse. And that's what happened on the iron lung. Their alveoli started collapsing, and they went into respiratory failure. And then they realized that our breathing process requires every 5 minutes, you probably don't know it, you don't notice it, every 5 minutes, our sigh reflex activates. And the sigh reflex it goes like, it's like this. We don't even know it. We're not even aware that it's happening most of the time, but then all of a sudden you might find yourself going, for no reason, you see? And that's the system's way of resetting over and over again. So the sigh reflex, the way it works and the way we can enhance it and work with it is we take what I call like either a double breath or a choo-choo breath. So we're inhaling. And then we exhale through the mouth. At the end of the exhalation, we pull our stomach in and up. The diaphragm and stomach in and up. Why? We do this because the diaphragm muscle is a dome-shaped muscle right under our rib cage. And the esophagus is the tube that when we eat, our food goes down the esophagus and dumps our food into the stomach. But it can't get to the stomach until it goes through what's called the esophageal hiatus. Hiatus means gap. There's a gap in the diaphragm. And the esophagus goes through that gap, and guess what else goes through that gap? The vagus nerve. the vagus nerve. So when we do diaphragmatic breathing, that's why we get a relaxation response, because we're activating the vagus nerve, which is part of the parasympathetic nervous system. So we exhale, we pull that diaphragm in and up. We give it that extra oomph kind of thing. So let's try it all together, okay? So you can either do a double breath where you inhale 70%, pause for just a second, like, and then do that, or you can do 4 breaths in. Boom, 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 boom. Inhale, have a tiny pause. When you exhale, do it through the mouth. At the very end of the exhalation, pull your diaphragm and stomach in and up. So try it 3 or 4 times and see what happens in your neurobiology. Nice. Can you feel that relaxation effect take over? Anybody feel a little kind of brain bliss? Did you feel it? So if you felt any at all hint of relaxation, that means there were hormones and neurotransmitters released. You made them be released. You did it. So if you feel relaxed, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins were released. That's how we access our internal pharmacy. That's the power of controlling the mind. That's the power Gurudev was talking about. If we want peace, this is what we have to do to get there. It's not it doesn't have to be some esoteric, not understandable teachings. It's this simple and relatable. So when we talk even about the koshas, I took little liberties here and there. The koshas are what the human is made of. So we have a physical body, and then yoga says we have the pranamaya kosh, which is the pranic body. But I think that's hard for people to relate to. So I call it the nervous system, because it's the mechanism between the brain and the body, and it's how the brain and body communicate. If that gets dysregulated, we're in trouble. So we have to learn through the yogic techniques, self-care, self-regulation through these type of breathing practices. So we'll do a couple more practices, and then I think I probably have to end at some point here. So humming stimulates the vagus nerve. It sets in motion that relaxation effect. Chanting, same thing, stimulates the vagus nerve, because the vagus nerve, just so you know, think about the vagus nerve as my arm. There's actually 2 branches to the vagus nerve, but the vagus nerve itself doesn't touch into these organs. They send branches out. So there's hundreds of branches off the 2 branches of the vagus nerve, hundreds of branches that touch in to our eyes, our ears, our throat, our tongue, and again, all of the organs in our body. So what do? We do eye gazing in yoga, stimulating the vagus nerve. We massage the eyes. Go ahead, massage the closed eyes, wipe away the tension. We're stimulating the vagus nerve. We massage the ears and the earlobes. Just give them a little pull and massage. You can put your finger in the ear and do little circles up and down, back and forth. We're stimulating the vagus nerve, creating a relaxation effect in our system. You see? But I want to circle back to gazing and mindfulness. I can't even begin to tell you how powerful that is. And I would want to just invite you to do some of these gazing Tradaka Dristi practices to find out for yourself. So we'll just do kind of a little thing tonight. So if you could just pinch the tip of your nose, close your eyes, and just feel the sensation. You can take your hand down and just feel the sensation at the tip of your nose for 10 seconds. Ready? Go. Now I want to invite you to relax your eyes and all the muscles around the eyes. Move your attention gently to your tongue. Relax your tongue and jaw. Move to your shoulders and relax your shoulders. Now on your own, do it 2 more times. Eyes, tongue, shoulders. Flutter your eyes a little, look down, and then slowly allow the eyes to open. And again, check in. Chances are you released some feel-good hormones. It's not very complicated. That was about 15 seconds, and look at the impact on the brain and our neurobiology. It doesn't take very much at all. So when we're relaxing, the eyes, the tongue, and the shoulders are 3 high stress points in your body. I call this micro-resting. So all through the day, just do micro-resting. Relax your eyes, your tongue, and your shoulders. And then if you want, you can just pinch the tip of the nose and then concentrate there, because all you were doing when you were signaling the eyes, the tongue, and the shoulders, that was concentration. So we're circling back to the power of concentration, you see? So I probably am out of time. I would just again want to invite you to consider practicing these techniques. I have a few things on my website if you want to take a look. It's cardiacyoga.com. And I'll stay after for a few minutes. If anyone has any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions. So thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Mala, for sharing the greatness of neuroscience and all of those beautiful yogic practices. And it seems when we combine the two that it will really deepen the benefit of both. So we really appreciate having that knowledge. Just to give a few announcements before we end with our closing service. Next Saturday, one of our younger members, Leela Shakti Mai, will be offering satsang, so I hope everyone can join us. And if you're not in Yogaville next week, perhaps you can join through Vimo. Also, we have some services coming. Oh, and if you wish to join from Vimo, it's vemo.com/Yogaville. Is that correct, gentlemen?
It's VIMEO.com/Yogaville.
vimeo.com/Yogaville. I stand corrected. Thank you.
And we're also on YouTube.
Yes, good. Also, we have some services coming up in the beautiful month of April. We will have a Passover Seder and supper on Sunday evening, April the 13th at 5:30 p.m. As the sun is about to set. So we hope you can join us for that. And then the following week, on Sunday, April the 20th at 11 o'clock in the morning, will be our Easter service. So if you are in Yogaville, please plan to join us. If not, maybe we can stream these wonderful services for you. Having begun the evening with light, we feel that it's best to conclude it with light. This time, the light which is within each of us is going to be represented through one of our Yogaville members, Sister Vani. She will hold a small candlelight, symbolic of the light that shines within each of us, and offer it to the larger light on the stage, which represents that divine light. And then after offering it to the light, she will go around and offer it to our two teachers, and then hold it up to the various saints and sages from the many different faith traditions whose photographs grace our hall. And if you want to familiarize yourself with who those great souls are, there are little booklets in the back of the hallway attached onto the wall in small containers, and you can read a small biography on each one of the saints and sages. But the Arati will, after it's offered to them, will come back to the main light, and then there will be a joyous jingling of bells and a sound of the gong to really wake up the heavens so they receive our offering. And then the light will be turned down and offered to each of us. If you are so inclined, you can extend your hands, draw the light, and feel like you're bathing yourself or being blessed by this light. So please stand, and if you look on the back of those yellow sheets, we have at the bottom the Satsang Arati chant called Jyoti Jyoti. So we will chant this together as Sister Vani offers the light. Om Jyoti 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 Swayam Jyoti 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 Padam Jyoti 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 Adu Jyoti 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 Shivam Vama Jyoti Soma Jyoti Vana Jyoti Jnana Jyoti Mahajyoti Yoga Jyoti Vata Jyoti Nada Jyoti Ema Jyoti Vyoma Jyoti Eru Jyoti Viru Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Eka Jyoti Jyoti Hey. Light, O light of self-effulgence, light, O light of absoluteness, light, O light of gracefulness, light, O light of auspiciousness, light of Shiva, light of moon, light divine, light of wisdom, light of heaven, light of yoga, light of wind, light of sound, light, delight, light of water, rising light, vital light, the only light, the only light. Give us light, O light of light. You may be seated. We will have a few closing prayers. Asatoma Satgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityormamritam gamaya. Lead us from unreal to real. Lead us from darkness to the light. Lead us from the fear of death to knowledge of immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karabhavahai Tejasvinau Vatitamastu Ma Vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May God protect us, grant us wisdom's fruit. May we gain energy to know the truth. May our intellects grow clear and bright. May we cherish no ill feeling toward anyone. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. And may the light of truth overcome all darkness. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki. Thank you all for your attention, your energy, your participation in the evening satsang. And now as we say goodbye to our streamers, we will ask you on your way out, if you have